After my sister's divorce, she asked me for financial help, even though she had caused me many problems in the past. I refused because I didn't trust her. It started with a call late one evening. Her voice trembled, almost breaking with desperation. "I don't know where else to turn. Please, I really need your help," she whispered. I froze. Memories of the past came rushing back, all the times she had borrowed money and never paid it back, the endless arguments, the lies, the promises that were broken without a second thought. I could feel my pulse quicken, a mix of anger, frustration, and an odd sense of guilt. I can't," I said slowly, choosing my words carefully. "I don't think I can help this time." There was a long silence. I could almost hear her heart beating through the phone. Then she spoke, her voice trembling but with an edge of accusation. "After everything, you can't even help me now? I thought family was supposed to stick together." I took a deep breath. I wanted to scream, to tell her everything I had felt over the years, but the words caught in my throat. I knew that anything I said could ignite another fight. Over the next few days, her messages flooded my phone, texts, emails, even social media DMs. Each one reminded me of the past chaos she had caused, but they also tugged at my conscience. I kept thinking, what if she really was in trouble this time? One night, I received a text that made my stomach sink. She had been late on her rent, and someone was threatening to take legal action against her. My first instinct was to scroll past it, to protect myself from getting involved. But a small, nagging part of me couldn't ignore it. I started to notice little details. The way she described her struggles, the urgency in her tone, the subtle hints that she might be in danger from people she owed money to. I wanted to help, but every thought was immediately blocked by a memory. The last time I had lent her money, it ended in lies, betrayal, and weeks of tension that I still hadn't recovered from. Sleep became difficult. I found myself staring at the ceiling, imagining all the ways this could go wrong. What if helping her only made things worse? What if ignoring her led to something irreversible? I couldn't shake the feeling that I was standing at a crossroads, with no clear path. Then came the phone calls. Each ring felt like a punch to my chest. Her voice on the line, sometimes pleading, sometimes angry, sometimes resigned. I felt trapped between empathy and self-preservation. I started to notice changes in my own life. My focus at work slipped. My friends noticed my irritability. My patience ran thin. The stress of deciding whether to help her was consuming me. Every time my phone buzzed, my heart skipped a beat. I tried talking to close friends about it, but advice was hard to come by. Some said I should help because family comes first. Others reminded me of all the times she had broken my trust. The debate raged inside my head. How do you weigh love against self-protection? How do you decide when helping someone you care about could destroy you in the process? Days turned into weeks. She started showing up at my door unannounced, bringing with her a storm of emotions, tears, anger, frustration, vulnerability. I felt cornered, yet still cautious. Part of me wanted to run away from the situation entirely, to escape the weight of responsibility I never asked for. And then I noticed something else, a subtle change in her demeanor. She seemed more vulnerable than before, more human, less the chaotic force that had caused so much trouble in my life. For the first time, I questioned my rigid stance. Could I find a way to help without losing myself in the process? Or was that simply impossible? The tension between wanting to protect myself and wanting to help someone I loved was tearing me apart. Every conversation, every message, every visit only intensified it. And deep down, I sensed that whatever came next would push me even further, emotionally, mentally, and perhaps even morally. I didn't know what to do. I only knew one thing for certain. This story was far from over, and the decisions I made now could change everything between us forever. After weeks of avoiding her calls, I finally answered one late at night. Her voice was quiet, almost broken. "Please, just hear me out. I don't know what else to do." I could feel the desperation vibrating through the phone. My first instinct was to hang up, to protect myself from another wave of chaos. But curiosity and a strange sense of duty kept me on the line. She started explaining her situation in detail, bills piling up, threats from creditors, the stress of legal paperwork, and the constant worry about where her kids would sleep if things went wrong. Each word she spoke pulled at my heart, and yet the memories of past betrayals made me hesitate. "I know I've made mistakes," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "but I'm trying. I really am. I need someone to believe in me." I stayed silent. I wanted to believe her, but my mind kept running through every past incident. The lies, the broken promises, the times I bailed her out and got nothing in return. Could I trust her now? Days turned into a strange routine. She called every morning, sent texts throughout the day, and sometimes showed up at my door unexpectedly. Each encounter was a test of patience and self-control. I felt my own anxiety growing. I started noticing small cracks in my own life. Work was becoming harder to focus on. My sleep was interrupted by worrying about her, and even my friends were starting to notice my distracted mood. Yet I couldn't stop thinking about her situation. Part of me wanted to help. Part of me screamed to run away and protect myself. One evening, she showed up at my apartment holding a stack of papers and a small bag. Her eyes were red from crying, her hands shaking. "I don't expect you to give me money," she said. I don't know where else to go. Can you just help me figure this out?" I felt a lump in my throat. I wanted to tell her no, to close the door and end this stress. But another part of me, maybe the part that still remembered the little sister I once knew, wanted to help her navigate the mess she was in. We spent hours going over her documents, her debts, and her options. I tried to stay detached, analytical, but every detail reminded me how tangled our lives had become. It wasn't just about money anymore. It was about trust, responsibility, and family bonds that had been tested to their limits. Every time she left, I felt a mixture of relief and dread. Relief that the immediate confrontation was over, but dread knowing it would come again. Her problems weren't going away, and my involvement, whether I liked it or not, was becoming inevitable. I began noticing subtle changes in her behavior. She was calmer, more organized, trying to take responsibility in ways she hadn't before. Yet I remained cautious, unsure whether this was genuine growth or simply a temporary adjustment until another crisis hit. Late at night, when everything was quiet, I found myself reflecting on our relationship. Could I really help her without losing myself? Was it possible to care for someone so deeply complicated without being dragged down by their past mistakes? And even as I pondered these questions, I knew one thing for certain. The story was far from over. Whatever was coming next would demand choices that could reshape our relationship forever. After months of tension, sleepless nights, and endless calls, the situation finally reached a turning point. My sister came to me one evening, calmer than I had ever seen her. Her eyes reflected exhaustion, humility, and a sincere plea for understanding. "I know I've made so many mistakes," she said softly. "I've hurt you, and I don't expect everything to go back to normal. But I need to fix my life, and I need you, not to give me money, but to just be there for me as family." Her words struck me. I realized that my refusal to help her financially had not severed our bond. It had only forced both of us to confront our issues and grow stronger emotionally. I took a deep breath and nodded. "I can't erase the past," I said, "but I can support you in the right way. I'll be here, but we have to rebuild trust slowly, step by step." She smiled faintly, tears glistening in her eyes. It wasn't a victory or a complete resolution. There were still bills, still challenges. But it was a beginning. A real chance to repair the damage and create boundaries that protected both of us. Over the following weeks, we worked together, not financially, but emotionally and practically. I helped her organize her finances, seek legal advice, and face her challenges responsibly. She started taking responsibility for her actions in ways she never had before, and for the first time, I felt genuine hope. The tension didn't disappear entirely. Family relationships are rarely simple, but the trust that had been broken slowly began to heal, built on patience, understanding, and the shared realization that love doesn't always mean giving blindly. It also means knowing when to protect yourself and when to extend a hand. And in that balance, we found a new kind of connection, one that wasn't perfect, but was stronger and more honest than ever before. And so, our story comes to an end today. But in the world of Mac's fables, every tale carries a lesson and leaves an impact. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you won't miss our upcoming tales. Here, where stories come to life.